Cuddle in. It's time for the Calm Down Chronicles of Arabella Owl. Today's story is The Winter Witch, Part 2. Last week, Gidget traveled to the highest mountain peak. She believed in herself and was not stopped by the whirlwinds or the blizzards. Gidget can see the ice palace where Father Frost lives. All she has to do is travel through a pine forest to get there. The whirlwinds and the blizzards were not going to give up. They would try to stop Gidget again, but they needed more help. The whirlwinds and blizzards called for their mother. Guess who their mother was? It was the Winter Witch. She came at once and said, "I saw everything. Now listen to me. You cannot defeat the strong of heart by force. Let's try something different and be good to her." "What do you mean?" a whirlwind asked. "Let's try to be polite and kind, so she never suspects us of any evil thoughts," said the Winter Witch. So the winds stopped and the blizzards went away. The Winter Witch used her magic to appear before Gidget, looking like a beautiful princess. She had a sparkly white gown and a crown of icy diamonds. "Am I dreaming?" thought Gidget. The princess began to sing a beautiful lullaby. The lullaby was so peaceful and calm that Gidget sat down and closed her eyes. The Winter Witch grinned in delight. "Sleep, little girl. May you sleep forever." The Winter Witch left the sleeping girl in the snow and went to tell her children how she had tricked the girl. Gidget was sleeping, smiling happily. She did not feel her body slowly freezing. Her pink cheeks were becoming blue from the cold. Luckily, a little white mouse found Gidget. She yelled to her friends, "Help! Someone's in trouble!" A bunch of little holes opened in the snow, and mice peeped out of the holes. They ran to the girl and tried to warm her by snuggling her up. But the mice were so tiny, they needed some help. They called their friends for help. Bigger holes opened in the snow, and white rabbits peeped out and ran to the rescue. From the snow-covered pine trees, squirrels jumped down, and soon the girl was covered with white and brown fur. The little animals warmed her up with their own furry bodies. Can you imagine that snuggly hug? They were so happy to see her cheeks becoming pink again. Soon Gidget opened her eyes. She thanked her new friends for saving her life and told them why she was there and where she was going. "We are coming with you," said the animals. "We also want spring to come." Gidget and the animals headed to the ice palace. They all knocked at the gate, but no one answered. What might have happened to Father Frost? The animals wondered. The animals tried to push and shove on the gate with all their might, but it was frozen shut. The animals were getting so frustrated. How could they get into the ice palace? Gidget suggested that they all take 3 deep breaths together to calm down, and then they could figure out how to get into the palace. Let's take 3 deep breaths with Gidget and the animals. Take a deep breath and breathe out. Take a second deep breath and breathe out. Take a final deep breath and breathe out. After everyone was calm, one of the rabbits said, "Why don't we melt the ice on the gate the same way we warmed up Gidget?" What an excellent idea! All the animals snuggled around the icy gate. The ice began to melt, and the animals were finally able to open the gate. Gidget and her furry friends entered a glittering ice corridor that led them to a big crystal hall. There, on a gorgeous throne of carved ice, Father Frost was fast asleep. "We have to wake up Father Frost." 2 squirrels jumped in his lap and tickled his face with their furry tails. Father Frost woke up with a mighty sneeze. He opened his eyes and smiled. "What are you doing here, little friends?" Gidget told him everything. "I have slept here while the Winter Witch was trying to stop spring from coming? I will not let that happen. Thank you, little ones, for waking me up." Father Frost used his magic and sent the Winter Witch to the Arctic. The sun came out from behind the clouds and melted all the snow. Spring was coming thanks to Gidget's good heart and her furry friends. Thank you, Gidget and friends. Remember, with a good heart, you can accomplish anything.
Thanks for listening to Arabella Owl.